Hi everybody, it's Belinda from Belinda's Book Nook. I'm here to do a Friday Reads. I missed it last week. I don't know how exactly I did that, but I did. Oh, I didn't check to see if I have ashy elbows. Um, I didn't want to miss it today, so I'm just kind of threw everything here on the floor, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go do the video because I do want to touch base and see what you guys are doing, and also let you know where I am with my reading. I'm doing pretty good for me. Now, my whole plan was this month was I was going to read my Read So Lit book club selection later in the month, so that it wasn't too far away from the meeting. And then I don't know if I had told you in my videos that I had missed that meeting. I didn't have the dates right, but now I have the dates right. It's this Sunday, so unless I read wrong, it is this Sunday, so I should be able to discuss this book with everybody. So I started reading this one, I think a little bit last week, maybe. And it's a short, small book. Let's start with it. Let's start there. Let's start there. And it's called The 92 by Ashley Hickson Lovence. And this is the cover. This is the cover I got, which I thought was cool. It basically follows a 36-minute period on a bus. It's set in London, and it's or not London. Well, it's in England. I can't remember exactly the name of the town. I feel like it was. Well, anyways, yeah, no, it is London, I guess. So it follows all the different people that are on this bus, including the bus driver, and in this 36-minute period. And I won't spoil anything by what I'm going to say. And it's kind of interesting when you read it, something like that, because you are coming at a situation from all these different point of views, right? So the multiple point of view issue, situation is what I can talk today, is what's going on in here. And it's really interesting to see how one person interprets something, and then when you go back with the other person, they're not seeing it that way, or it's not what it seems. I found that interesting. I keep a little card that I start to write the characters on, just in case, I start to figure out who people are. And this was perfect because it would jump around to the different characters, and I could be able to use my cheat sheet and be like, oh yeah, that's who Levi is, or that's who Natalie is, or that's who Diamond, whatever. So no spoilers, Belinda. Okay, so no spoilers. I'm trying to talk about this in a good way so that it doesn't. So it follows them, and a situation occurs in the bus that kind of, in one way, kind of unites everybody on the bus. And I'm just going to leave it at that. What I will say in a nutshell, because I want to wait and see what my fellow book clubbers say and how they can convince me to come off the ledge. Because I spent probably the last third of the book, and this would be my face while I was reading it, like that was me, okay? Like wanting to move forward. And I don't know, it's just my reaction to some of the information in here. It was very detailed sexual stuff that I, kind of fetish stuff that I was not expecting. And so, yeah, I could have done without that. I feel like the story would have been fine without that. So I want to talk to the group and find out what they think, how that added value to the story. And I don't, consider myself a prude or anything. I definitely could read contemporary novels. But this was just like fetish. There was a lot of racism. And I understand to some extent why the author might have been presenting these ideas in this way. But that particular character I could have done without, and the story could still have been decent. I don't know. I really don't know. Would I recommend this to somebody to read? Like, oh my God, you got to read this? No. But is it a bad book? No. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And those parts made me so uncomfortable that I wanted to just quickly get through them. And there's one character in particular, his name was Stu, that was the issue. And then later on, another character who I didn't realize, he became a little bit more explicit. So, yeah. So I don't think that's a spoiler. I'm just going to say if things like that bother you, then it might bother you reading this. It wasn't the whole of the book, but it was a part of the book, which are part of the book that I'm still trying to figure out and discover whether that was really essential. What did it add to the story? It could have been done in a different way without so much detail. Yeah, it's just too much for me. So that I just finished today. Just in time. And I had to finish it today because I'm going to see my sister tomorrow to celebrate her birthday and hang out. And I haven't seen her in a long time. And then Sunday will come, and I never want to be finishing the book the day that I'm supposed to read it. We're supposed to discuss it. So I had to finish it by today, and I did. So short book, interesting. If any of you've read it, let me know what you thought. Were those parts, like, did they make you feel that way? Am I just sensitive? Or, I don't know. So there was that. All right. You all know that I read The Jackal, and I very much enjoyed it, by Erin E. Adams. Still loving this cover. It's just so pretty. It's so, so pretty. I really enjoyed it. She's got another book coming out next year. I think in May, maybe, or June. I can't remember exactly. But I will be on the lookout for it. And one of the things that I'm doing now, when I was younger, I watched horror movies. I watched all of them. I watched The Shining. I watched the Halloween movies, the Freddy Krueger, all of those, right? And they scared me so bad. Like, I would sleep for like weeks on end with the lights on. You drive my family crazy, my siblings and everything. And as I got older, I just kind of like shied away from them. And I appreciate a good suspense, but I don't like gore per se. Like, I don't really need to sell that. And so I decided to challenge myself this month to watch, in honor of Halloween and this month, some horror films. So I didn't want to watch something I already watched. I wanted to watch something new. So I first watched Get Out, which I'm like probably one of the, I won't say the last person, because I always hate when people say that, because I'll be like, no, I would be the last person to watch it. But, I know a lot, my sister had watched it, and other people I know have watched it. So I watched that. That one was good. It wasn't so scary. It was just really like a psychological thriller. And so there was that one. And then I watched Us by Jordan Peele. This is not a spoiler because you can see it on the cover. There are people standing in the driveway at night, right? And there's a scene in there very early on where they're standing there. And so now when I am taking my lovely Ella out to her last, to go do her business before bedtime, I am like, and I'm this totally crack up. I have a headlamp that I put on. So I take her we have two driveways, so I take her to our rear driveway to go to the bathroom, and I put the headlight on at night because I want to be able to see. That sounds like her barking at the neighbor's dog. Okay, so I will take the headset so I can see where she goes, so I can pick up her poop, and I have a can that I put, a trash can that I put everything in. So the long and the short is now every time I go, like, I'm like scanning. I'm like, are there people in the driveway? So I have now, as an adult, I'm still chicken and I need lights. I watched that one. And then what was the other one? Did I do a third one? I feel like I did another one, which is, it must have been underwhelming, the fact that I can't remember it. But I may watch one more before the month's over. And I think I'm going to make it an annual thing because I can't watch these movies on a regular, because I'm just a little chicken. And then things get in my head, and then it just gets weird and all of that. So I think what I'm gonna do is make that a custom to watch, because there's always a lot out. So I just had to pick one or two to watch each October. So yeah, I don't know if you've watched those movies, but definitely Us was, it was pretty scary and just crazy and like, oh my God, no, how does, yeah. So all the way to the end. So I'm a big chicken. So having said that, I don't know where I went on a tangent because I was talking about this. So I will be reading, I want to read, that was where I was going with this. I will start to read more of these. I think these kind of books, this is like a suspense horror, maybe, more suspense. And I like that. And like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Who did it? What, you know, so it was good. It was kind of mysterious too. It was a mystery. So I did really enjoy that. So I think I'm going to try to do that at least in October of the year. Then the next one that I read and finished was Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. And this is, like I said, I think, I don't know if the other ones have come out when I got this one. I mean, when this one came out. But there are, I believe, 4 books or 3 books in this. The most recent's come out. And this one I told you about was a story that there's this cafe and these people can go, and if they sit at this certain table and follow these certain rules, they're able to travel back in time to the time of their choice, as long as they follow all the guidelines. And they can stay and talk to that person or whatever until their coffee gets cold, and they have to come back. If they don't do that, then I think they get stuck there, if I remember correctly. Or I can't remember actually what the out is. But anyway, so the book is broken into, I think it's 4 chapters. The first one's called The Lovers. Second is Husband and Wife. The third is The Sisters. And then the last is Mother and Child. There is, just like one of my viewers had talked about, there is a little, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little tired. There is a little connection between the stories, but they're all separate, you know, reasons why these people are all going back and who they're going back to see. I found it interesting and quirky. You know, and it might just be lost in translation and how it comes about, you know, from Japanese to, you know, English, we may have lost a little bit. I thought it was interesting. It was a very short, quick read, and I'm curious what the other books are about. I'm going to look, and if they pique my interest at some point or other, I will visit them. If not, I'll, you know, leave it with this. But it was interesting. It was definitely interesting, you know, why these people wanted to go back in time, and the rules too. The rules that they had, I thought was very interesting. So there's that. And then is there any other one? Yeah, so then this one is the latest, and I don't know if I'm gonna finish it because the 31st is Tuesday, right? Yeah, and I am yeah, I haven't gotten further than that. So I know this is my mark of where I want to be. So I don't know. I stuck the marker in here this time. But this one is, I'm sorry. I got my little, this is my little, you know, flag key for what I'm, you know, putting out. Characters, historical facts, and quotes. And this is going to go in here. And this is for Aada Witch, and it's by Medea Corafor. I've had it for a while, and I really wanted to read it, and I thought this would be a good month to do it. It's really enjoyable so far. It follows this girl who discovers that she has some sort of powers, and that there's this whole other, not world, but this kind of like world, where these people that have these, they're different people that have these kind of powers. And so far, I've been introduced to her, the character. She's albino, and she faces a lot of just like discrimination and like, you know, teasing and targeting because of that. only to find out that she in fact has some abilities, and that she just needs to work to actually bring them forth. And so she has these two friends that are, or friends that are leading her on the path to discovering that. That's where I am so far with it, so I don't really know more about it that I can tell you. So far it's very interesting. The next one I think is Aada Warrior, and then they think there's a third one. So I would love to finish this by Tuesday, but the chances are, because the weekend's going to be busy, that will leave me Monday really and Tuesday to get to it. So we'll see how that goes, and if I can get this done. But I would like to. I'm already started in getting vested in it. I want to try to finish it. So before I start the next month's book. So there's that. So I'm doing really good. I think so. The weather here, I forgot to tell you, I always tell you guys the weather, right? The weather here is crazy. Like, I said this too. I said, watch, I will switch everything out in my closets to winter and it'll get warm again. And I'm not kidding you. I switched everything out. This is one short sleeve shirt I could find, and I found a nice, decent skirt to wear today. But the rest of my stuff is sweaters, like all my warm and fuzzies. And it is 77 degrees right now. And it's supposed to go up a couple more degrees, almost 80 degrees today. And then tomorrow is supposed to be about the same temperature. And yesterday was low 70s. What is this? I mean, I love my fall. So, yeah. So, all right. So, there's my little weather update. The other thing that I was going to tell you is I went to Savers to drop off, make my donation, and then, oops, I just happened to stroll into the area where they have books, and I found some books. I'm gonna show you what I got. So this has been around forever and a day, and I never read it. She's written, I think she has a new release book out this year, this author, and I just figured, well, for $3 I'm gonna get it and I'll read it. And that's Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. The description is on the back, the stickers on here. Let me see if I can pull it so I can read it to you. It says, in Shaker Heights, a placid, progressive suburb of Cleveland. Oh my God, it's coming off nice and neat. Everything is planned from the layout of the. If you don't know, do y'all know this? You probably know it. I'm just reading it, but I'll read it fast. The layout of the winding roads to the colors of the houses to the successful lives its residents will go on to lead. And no one embodies this spirit more than Elena Richardson, whose guided principle is playing by the rules. Enter Mia Warren, an enigmatic artist and single mother who arrives in this idyllic bubble with her teenage daughter, Pearl, and a disregard for the status quo that threatens to upend this carefully ordered community. Suspicious of Mia and her motives, Elena is determined to uncover the secrets in Mia's past, but her obsession will come at an unexpected and devastating cost. Little Fires Everywhere explores the weight of secrets, the nature of art and identity, and the ferocious pull of motherhood, and the dangers of believing that following the rules can avert disaster. Believe that Reese, because this is one of her book club sections, did make this into a movie that has Kerry Washington in it. Don't want it. And I remember when I think I saw it, I was like, I don't want to watch it because I want to read the book first. So now I got the book. And it's in really decent condition. Look, and it's one of those floppies. Oh yeah, like this I love. Like you can just fold it even and just have your sandwich or your scone or whatever you're eating and just read it. So I'm happy about that. And it's that velvety finish. I love it. So there's that. I'm probably the last person to read that one for sure. And then I know she has a new book out this year. This next one, I'm so excited. This is a new release that I wanted. I've read, I think, all of her books now. I think so. And I've really enjoyed them. And that's Elizabeth Acevedo's. This one's called Family Lore. And the only thing on this one, like that's like a little disturbing, is on the back. There's a little bit of a crease here, like the book must have bent. Other than that, and obviously these stickers come off easy. I'm gonna wipe it down, like Alba says, and it looks great. Like it looks like it's in great condition. So, yeah. So I'm going to read this one. This one is about, oh no, this is not coming off good. Oh no, it's not. Okay. I can't tell you because it's right on top of it. This is for Flora has a gift. She can predict on the day when someone will, I can't even read. Let's see if I can get it from the side. Come on, man. Why didn't I do this before I got on the camera? You know I'm trying to do better about my time here. Here we go. Wait. Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. Flora has a gift. She can predict to the day when someone will die. So when she decides she wants a living wake, a party to bring her family and community together to celebrate the long life she's led, her sisters are surprised. Has Flora foreseen her own death or someone else's? Does she have other motives? She refuses to tell her sisters Matilda, Pastora, and Camilla. For Flora isn't the only person with secrets. Her sisters are hiding things too. And the next generation, cousins Ona and Yadi, face tumult of their own. Spanning the 3 days prior to the wake, family lore traces the lives of each of the Marte women, weaving together past and present, Santo Domingo and New York City, told with Elisa Acevedo's inimitable and incandescent voice. This is an incredible portrait of sisters and cousins, aunts and nieces, one family's journey through their history, helping them better navigate all that is to come. It sounds really good. Her books are so good. If you've never read one, listen to the audio. Oh my God, they're really good in audio. I might pair this with audio just to, oh my God, I can do this later. I don't know why I'm doing it now. Okay, stickers. So there's that, right? So that was a good score. This last one I wanted when it came out, and then a friend of mine was supposed to lend it to me. They didn't, and then I kind of like forgot about it until this year when the author came out with a new book, and the new book is called Poverty by America, and he is called Matthew Desmond. So I do want to get that one. He also made it onto Barack Obama's list, and it talks about how, you know, the United States has the most poverty of all of the developed countries. More poverty than all the developed countries in the world, something like that. And it was just that one line, you're like, whoa, you know, you have one idea, and I'm curious to see what he talks about in there. But this first book I think this is his first book that he wrote, and it's called Evicted: Poverty and Profit in the American City. So I'm kind of curious of what elements are in there from here and how he spins it for that book. But this one really caught my eye when it first came out, and I wanted to read it. And oh, no, okay, the description is inside. It says, from Harvard sociologist Matthew Desmond, a landmark work of scholarship and reportage that will forever change the way we look at poverty in America. In this brilliant, heartbreaking book, Matthew Desmond takes us into the poorest neighborhoods of Milwaukee to tell the story of 8 families on the edge. Arlene is a single mother trying to raise her 2 sons on the $20 a month she has left after paying for their rundown apartment. Scott is a gentle nurse consumed by a heroin addiction. Lamar, a man with no legs and a neighborhood full of boys to look after, tries to work his way out of debt. Vanetta participates in a botched stick-up after her hours are cut. All are spending almost everything they have on rent, and all have fallen behind. The fates of these families are in the hands of 2 landlords, Sharina Tarver, a former school teacher turned inner city entrepreneur, and Tobin Charney, who runs one of the worst trailer parks in Milwaukee. They loathe some of their tenants and are fond of others. But as she puts it, love don't pay the bills. She moves to evict Arlene and her boys a few days before Christmas, and it goes on. I think it's going to make me cry. It's just going to make me think and feel. But I do want to read it, and so I'm super excited to get this. It's a hardcover edition, and it looks really good. Those are not rips. These are actual cracks in the walls. So they're trying to portray that, you know, what it's like and the house and stuff. So I'm excited for this one. I paid $4.99 for this. I mean, come on, you can't really. Actually, I think I got one free because I got another book too. So these are the books though that I got, and I'm so excited because they are ones that I wanted. They aren't ones that I, wasn't thinking about. So that's kind of cool. The other thing I wanted to talk about is ask you guys. I got into a little discussion with it with my friend Natalie, who, when I was visiting her channel and watching her talk about her knitting, I've been, you know, and I don't know if I've already asked you guys, but I really like to find a way to incorporate more of my crafty stuff that I like, that I do, that I spend a lot of time doing in videos. And would it, you know, sometimes people just come to your channel, they want, like, it's Belinda's Book Nook, they just want to hear about books and talk about books and things like that. So would you guys be interested in seeing some things that I'm working on? I'm working on a vlog right now, trying to edit it, that I have like little segments of me doing some stuff. So I don't know if that you'd be interested in seeing that, because it's another, you know, part of my life that's really important and fun for me. Let me know, because then I will try to begin to do that. And I could, you know, incorporate it in even these kind of videos. I would just try to feed to that segment with the stuff that I'm working on, or what have you. For example, like, you know, you all know that I love coloring, and I told you I'm trying to finish this coloring book. I did get this one done. I think this is the last one that I showed you guys. So I'm trying to rush feverishly to get through the pages by the end of the year. So I'm on October right now, and October isn't bad. So this is it so far. I still have to do the trees, the sky, and I need to, you know, fill in the pieces around the plants. I'm thinking I kind of want to do a black sky, so this bat will pop and these little ones will pop, or a sunset, or I don't know, and see if I can kind of do something funky. So I haven't decided that yet, but that's my next thing, because I think when I do the sky, then I will, sometimes I do the sky first or last. But I feel like I'm going to do it in the middle. This time I think I want to do the sky next, and then do the trees and stuff, so that I can make sure I can get it to look like dimensional and stuff. So this, by the way, if you're curious, because this coloring book is all endangered species. This one is a vulnerable, so it's not endangered but vulnerable, which means it's on its way. This is the New Zealand lesser short-tailed bats, and unfortunately I forgot to look up for you guys a little description about their situation, but I went online. They are really more this color, but I saw some other bats that had kind of purplish pinkish hues, especially like in here, and so I thought it would be fun to kind of put it on this. So it's not quite accurate, but that's the beauty of being able to create. So yeah, I'd love to be able to know if you guys would want me to show you some of the stuff that I do, and you know, in the summer I really want to figure out how to set up my camera so I can show you some of my gardening stuff. The biggest thing for me is, like, I can know my neighbors will hear me talking. It's one thing to be in my house and I'm talking in the camera. Like, I've never done a vlog yet that I talk on the camera while I'm walking through a place and people know I'm talking. I am so conscious of it, so I don't know if I could sit in my garden and have the camera running and then have people see me talking to the camera. But if I get up the courage, then I'll do that. Otherwise, I like to just show, like, I'll just shoot footage of my garden, either voiceover or music behind it. So we'll figure it out. But let me know, because I would love to share some of the other things that I'm working on that, other than reading, they do take up a large portion of my time. And that's it. And it's probably 25 minutes, because I can never go faster. Let me know what you guys are reading. Let me know if you've read any of these. I know a lot of people have read Little Fires Everywhere. Have any of you read The Family Lore, or any of her books? And I love them. Or the Matthew Desmond book. And I'm going to try to chug away, so the next time you see me, this will be done. That's the goal. And then I'm going to be picking my last TBR for the year, because I told you guys I'm going to take December off. So next month will be the end of, you know, which it can be relaxing, or it can also be stressful, because there's so much, like, hint back here in my TBR cart that didn't make the cut. So I might feel pressured to, like, make a big TBR, which the reality is 3 or 4 books, and that's probably all that's going to happen, if that, because November also has holiday in it, and so that kind of sucks up time. December, though, I'm just going to do like I did last year, reflect, planned for next year, buy a new journal for my book journal. I probably in December, towards the end, before the holidays, my goal would be to show you guys the video of my book journal, like a complete run through of it, and what my plans are for the next one. Or maybe I'll do a separate video to talk about, okay, this is what I did and this is what I don't want to keep and stuff like that. And so there'll be that to come up. But yeah, so that's just where I am. So I have to think of, I have some books that I wanted to read, but I wasn't thinking about it just being my last month. November is also nonfiction November, so it would be nice to squeeze any nonfiction in there. I have plenty to choose from. I do. I have Cast by Isabel Wilkerson on my list that's on the cart that I could read. I have The Sum of Us by Heather McGee. Before Busing I have on there. I have Viral Justice. I have several on there that would be able to fulfill that and allow me to read something and get something checked off my cart. I don't know. I'm still going to do the cart. I don't care. Like, I mean, I do care. But I'm not going to let it stop me from creating a cart TBR, because I do like to see what when I look at it, I know my mindset of what I put there and why I put it there. And now whether I get to them or not is another thing. And then that's something to reflect and think about. Like, well, maybe the next time, let's do less of this, or, you know, like I said, more like filling it only halfway and then letting me just, as I get some new things, I can put them on there and say that that's something I want to make sure I get to read. So yeah, there's that. There's just a lot. There's so many books, so much time. There's another one that's right under my chair that I would love to read for Nonfiction November. This one I showed you guys before. This would be really good. I think this might definitely find its way to the top. And that's The Women of the Post by Jashunda Sanders. Yes, I did pull a book from under this chair because I am running out of space. And yes, I do have some books under here. Do not judge. So this might, I'm going to put it here. And that I will keep it in mind, so that hopefully maybe that will make it for next month for my Nonfiction November. Yeah. Let me know if you guys are going to do Nonfiction November too, and what you're going to read if you think of that before November appears. And just have a wonderful weekend. The weather is going to be really great. The first half, second half is going to be kind of crappy, but I have book club on Sunday and I have football, so I will be inside for both of those, so it'll be okay. I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.